Sitting.
Okay. Wonderful. So, let me just do the introduction. And I'm really, really happy and excited to record this message. We have just started speaking a few minutes about it. And I think it's really powerful that two people coming in and they're speaking of something that's really, really the zeitgeist, what's happening now. So let me introduce you to Iona from Devon. And we want to speak about a gift that I want to give to the world is like, if there are two or more in my name, if there are two or more in my name coming together, we can move mountains. And, or if we say mountain move, the mountain shall move. So let us talk about what is so amazing, what's coming through here, and what we all call it's like to becoming our own Christ. What do you have to say that I think is so amazing, that buzzes so much with me? And what I have read from you on Facebook and so on, there are tremendous words coming out of you. Tell us what happens at the moment.
Thank you, Kai. Hi, everybody. Yeah, so what I'm wanting to share is that there seems to be an opportunity and to open up to a different way of being. And what seems to be clear to me is that the way we've been operating up until now has been through the fear-based mind. It's like the mind is, it's almost like, I'm thinking of a big like robot machine with a tiny man in the head, you know, controlling everything. And this has been set up because of fear-based mind. And the whole systems that we are currently living in, because we've created them from this place of the fear-based mind, it's really cemented the reality that we operate in and that we believe is the only reality available to us. But what I'm feeling is coming through me, and I'm sure many other people as well at this time, and I'm really interested to hear if anyone else is having similar experiences, is opening up to such another energy, a much greater force that wants to come up through the body. And some people call this the one life. It's a singularity, it's source energy, but it's hugely powerful. And I've been experiencing this for a number of years now, this energy wanting to come through my body. And the only thing that can really hold it is the heart, you know, a heart that just holds everything in love. And so expanding this heart to hold is been a huge thing for me to because there's a lot of grief that comes with this energy, a grief connected to how we have been living and what we've done to each other and what we've done to the earth. So it is this upwelling of this huge primordial force of source energy that wants to live through us and wants to create through us and inspire us to move into a place of being. And in this place, I call it a singularity because there is no separation between the inspiration, the feminine dreaming and inspiration, and the masculine action out into the world, the doing. You know, there's a union of energy. It's this energy comes through, and it's this knowing and this absolute sorry about that. You still with me, Kai?
Yeah.
So an absolute knowing of where this energy needs to be shared, what the message is, this clarity and this deep wisdom. And sometimes when it comes through me, I kind of step back afterwards and I think, was that me? You know, I can't even recognize myself as the same person. because the mind isn't there when it's coming through. The mind isn't there. It's and there's so much confidence and beingness. It's just being in beingness and doing what's moving through, because it's just obvious that it must be done.
Yeah.
So that's the energy that I'm really feeling and connecting to at the moment as the opportunity. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing and what is my experience is that there is a place that when we get out of busyness, or for some people there can be maybe busy and it just comes through them because they are open enough as a channel. And what happens is, if we get ourselves out of the way, if we can allow our mind to switch off, then a greater force comes through us, which I only experience as this saying, like, I don't do anything. That's the humbleness of life. That if I know that I'm not doing anything, but I'm being done too, that we are all part of, when we are in our higher selves, then we become a vessel for the divine, to be the extension of God's love in form. We have nothing else to do than becoming this vessel where love somehow flows through us, where we suddenly speak things that are so filled up by love that they reach people's heart, that they open people's heart, that magic happens, that wonders happen. Whatever happens to you, whatever you're going to do in this being, that happens from a higher level. And this is, for me, the interesting thing is, if we go into devotion to that child of God, or whatever you want to call it, to that Christ being in ourselves, then something magically happens. So you spoke before about that. In your case, for example, it more resonates with you in the morning. What's your, how does it feel?
Yeah, so in the morning, you know, when I'm waking up, I'm still in that liminal dreaming space. So that's deeply connected into the subconscious dreaming world, rather than, you know, the conscious mental mind, which is where we live from in our day-to-day life. This place is because it's connected deeply into that feminine dreaming liminal space, which connects directly to source. So waking up in the morning, before my mind leaps into that conscious mind space, that logical mind space, life can speak more directly through to me and through me. So yeah, it feels like getting downloads of information, but it's so clear and so obvious, and it has a push behind it, like a force behind it, which is a requirement to, you know, to go and do something with that. So the other day I woke up with some information, and it was I'm going to make a just record it into a podcast. So what's my commitment to this source energy, to dedicate my life to this, to being a channel for this one life, for this energy, is that yes, I'm going to listen. I'm going to make myself a vessel available and open to it, and I'm going to receive it, and then I'm going to act on it, because I think that's really important, is to follow through, to bring it into being, to give birth to it in the world, and to serve it, to serve that one life. Yeah.
I'm still on the what is it called, on the barricades about, are we really doing it? Are we really following through? Or, as you said before, that when that source comes through you, it more than less does automatically. I don't
Yeah.
think that a bee
Yeah.
is going to do and has in mind, look, I fly out now and I do 152 flowers today.
No.
Right? I don't think that it has to follow through, but within that force that is source force, as you call it, right? That where God does it, he is moving us. So I
Yeah.
think this is what I hear from you, is like that when it comes through, and when I hear you talking now, is not now this is the owner trying to explain what's happening. But it's not the owner. I know from the sentences how they are magically put together, like the Bible is, and it becomes alive to you. It lights up your heart, and it's like, wow, there it is.
Yes.
So here we're trying to conceptualize what's
Yes.
happening to us, but
Yes.
this is not what happens, right?
No, no, no. I mean, it's as I said, it comes with a force. It comes with an energy that almost pushes you out into the world to because there's there's a this must be shared, or this must be, there's that energy behind it, and it's so connected to purpose when it comes through, because you feel so on point. You feel that is your purpose, is to serve what's coming through in whatever way it wants to be brought. And there's a knowing in how it wants to be brought. So is it us? I think, as I'm saying, we're moving into a singularity where we're moving into unity consciousness, where there isn't so much an us anymore. It's we connected into source, and we are part of that bigger body, and we've committed to being a cell in that body, and to serving the life that moves through us from that place. So the distinction between that energy and us is no longer there, but I would say that because our mind is still so strong, it does feel like a conflict that can happen if the mind, the lower mind, the fear-based mind comes in and wants to sabotage that process, and give reasons why you shouldn't be doing that. But I mean, the times that I have experienced this, it's just a flow. It comes in and it goes out.
Could you do me a favor, and could you find another word for this?
For
right?
what?
Because I think for me, I only can call it like it's a Christ calling in all of us.
Yeah, so I want to talk about that. So we're picking up Christ energy, and for me, it's because Christ is the example of a human who has lived this, and we don't have many examples, or any examples, apart from, I won't say any, but the being that has lived this fully is the Christ. Christ was a vessel for this source energy. He was, completely given, to the point that he gave his life in service to that life, because that's what it asked of him in service. He was the demonstration of what it is to live this energy, and everything that he went through was symbolic of the journey, the Christ journey, the Christ path, Christed path that we need to go on as humans, to be able to open up to this energy and become Christ-like, to become the Christ child, to live with a heart of love, to live as love, and to be given to love and in love.
So the big thing that I hear is like what has been done actually is been done, will ever been done, right? There is only, I think, Christ consciousness is just, it's love that is there, right? It pours constantly out into the world, but can we get out of our own way to allow it to come through us?
That's the thing, and that is the hardest thing, because this controller, this little person that wants to, the fear-based mind that wants to and has been controlling everything, wants to continue doing that. But The time of the controller is over. The time of the limited mind running and ruling things, which it has done, for our history, which is everything that we see around us, the systems, the way we're living, the way we're thinking, is born out of that small fear-based thinking. And it's time now. The time is ripe for this emergence of the source energy to take control again, to move through us, because we are ready as vessels. We've readied our body. And Kai, I know that you and I have been on this journey for a very long time. We have worked deeply with our sexuality. We've opened our root chakras from the base up. We're not just living in old paradigm Christianity or spirituality that operates from just the idea of it. We are walking the path. We have been walking the path, and it's not easy. It's not easy to go into the deepest depths of yourself, to face all your demons, to face all your fears, and you do it. To crack that heart open through all the conscious relationships. It breaks the heart open more and more, and through all of them, we still say, yes, I need to know love. Show me love. Show me love, because I want to hold cosmic love as the Christ did for everybody.
But this is the point. This is what has to change, right? Show me love. And you know what? It's not about showing me as in, can I get, please? No, show me the love means I have goosebumps now everywhere, because this is exactly the point. I have come to this thing. I haven't come to teach you, but to love you. And to love means to give. And when we say, show me the love, means allow the love, the God's love, to flow through me. This is the real love. You pouring the love, God's love, out into the world. And by this, you getting this accelerated, this elated state of being, right? But it's not this typical old way. Love means I get a lot of money. Love means I get, mommy says, yes, good boy. Or daddy says, hey, well done, right? No, that's not what it is. Show me the love means we experience ourselves being love to the world.
Yes.
And this is what I think is, for me, this moments of Christ consciousness that I try to hold for longer and longer periods, right? Yeah. Sometimes it comes like a flash, just an idea, just a vision. And then what happens is you have 2 seconds, and then you have 4 seconds, and you have to hold this because it's like 10,000 volts and you get so excited. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, and opening up more and more to saying yes to that love. And it does mean it's like a cosmic tsunami of love that's gonna wipe away all structures of the mind that were in control. So it can have a lot of resistance and fear with it from the old structure, the old personality that's running the old structure. But ultimately, we have a choice here. We have a choice as a human to say, I want to be a vessel for that love. I want to give myself completely and thoroughly. I want my life to be used up for this purpose, and stand for that. And when we choose that, because for me, there's nothing else worthy of my life, then that tsunami can flow through. And then we're rebirthing a new earth through that energy of love. And that's what's possible here. For us all to open up to this cosmic love and to let that energy through, and it will do what it needs to do through us. We don't need to know. We just need to be open, and we just need to follow and say yes to it.
Beautiful, because you call it the tsunami, right? In the book, 2,000 years ago, it was been described as crucifixion, right? So it is a death. We have to allow, but this is also when that Christ consciousness comes through you and it says, bite into the Brussels sprout. And it's like, no way, I don't like Brussels sprout, right? I'm not going to do this. And it's just like, look, if you want to have that experience of love coming through it, then you need now to bite into the Brussels sprout. right? And suddenly something magically happens. Like either you say like whatever it is, but these are the amazing things that we are asked. Can we let go of the old world? Can we let go of that what defines us? Like I don't like Brussels sprouts. I never liked them. I even got sick of them when I tried to eat them, right? Or the smell even of it. And we will be asked to do things, and this is the way how we are asked to pay it forward in trust, in devotion, because nothing will happen if you don't commit fully. And the saying also is that if you only stand with one toe into the old world, or with one hair in the old world will abide to you. You have to commit fully to this world and say, okay, whatever, then I die. That's it.
It's the camel through the eye of the needle, you know. That's it, that's where we have to go. It's the narrow road, it's the narrow path, and it's all in because it has to be all in. It's a tsunami. A tsunami is not going to, you know, save your little house, you know.
It goes around the tree.
It has to be all in, and it is a surrender to the unknown, because we don't know what it's going to ask of us. We don't know how it's going to call us to serve life, but we know that we are given to love. We know that it is of love. We know that it's benevolent, and it's here to serve a much greater life. Because at the moment we're cultivating death on this planet. We are cultivating death by living in this old paradigm, which is connected to that fear-based structure. We are on a path of death, and we need to choose a path of life, eternal life. And the only way to do that is to shift into this new way of energy and to surrender to it. And it does mean stopping your thinking fear-based mind, because it's not going to understand this. This is not a place for the mind. It's like, you know, thank you, you know, for doing your role, but now, you know, the king has arrived, and you know, the king is ready to rule the kingdom, and or the queen, and you need to give way to this bigger power that wants to move through. And it is all in. Yeah, it's all in. And there isn't a knowing. There's no. We have no guarantees, and it's the walking on water. You know, you have to learn to walk on water here. You have to learn to have such absolute trust, and that is walking on water, because before you know it, the water supports you, and you can walk on water. But it requires that level of trust, you know. You can't be sitting on the side of the boat hoping the water's going to help you. It's you know, it will hold you. It doesn't work like that.
And even though it does work like that, the water will just hold you, right?
Yeah, but
this is the paradox.
Yeah, no, I had an image of like sitting on the boat and being afraid to stand on the water, because you don't know if it's going to hold you. So you have to stand up, and you have to give yourself to the life, and trust that this wave has got you, this wave that wants to come through you.
There's a beautiful picture that's coming from that for me, is like or a saying, and that means like you shall not you should not want to prove God to you. Like you want, like I'm stepping onto this water now, and you have to prove to me that it will hold, right? Life in that moment, to live in that moment, means it comes now, and you're asked to step onto the water now. There is no safety net to it. Like when we go out there, and it's just like, let me try in the quiet when nobody is watching. That's not the way how it works. There is full devotion and commitment to be the Christ. To be a child of God means that you have to show up in every moment, whatever it is. And if it tells you to throw yourself off the cliff, then this is what you have to do. And you will be asked for it. And you will see the projects that you're involved with by being that love being poured out into the world, i.e. to heal someone or make someone of whatever it is. These projects will become bigger and bigger, that will bust your mind. and you will never been able to train for it. You can only train for it through each moment that you devote yourself and says, I don't want to do, but I want that you do through me.
Yeah.
Because that is impossible what can be done, right? And this is the humbleness that I think connects us to our Christ being. We have to be humble enough that Kai, the healer, or Kai, the coach, or whatever, he doesn't do anything. He just stands there. But ultimately, what happens in the moment when that energy comes through me, it only can come through me because I have opened up and I have gone to nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then that is the way how I feel it. When these magic moments happen, it's like, no, I couldn't have said that. That's not my language. That's not the way how I do it. It's like, oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. That's my experience. And I have also been asked, you know, the year that I had last year, you know, what was asked of me was, and I was told 2 years ago that this would be asked of me. You know, when I was saying, oh, you know, spirits, I'm in service to you completely. You know, I'll in the fire, I'll, you know, spiritual fire like I'm given. And then there was this voice, I know you can get in the fire, but can you put your children in the fire? I went cold. I went cold. I went cold because I knew that that was the test that I would have to endure or undergo. Do I trust that much? And last year, that's exactly what I was asked to do. And it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. And I'm not going to go into the details of my story now, but it was an intense experience of going into the underworld last year and being put on the cross, and through that process of surrendering absolutely everything in trust to this energy of spirit, I found at the back of my heart was a way. It felt like a black hole, like a wormhole, like a black hole, you know, a way out into another universe, into another reality. And in this reality is, you know, is this new universe of beauty and the possibility to create anew and to create afresh. And this is what I'm feeling we have an opportunity for as a collective, is to go through the back of our hearts, to fully surrender and give ourselves to spirit. And what is possible is the birthing of a new earth that is based on love, on having fully given through the heart, you know, and able to create anew, to create from this place of source love.
You know, this is so beautiful that you say that. And I'm really moved by it, because when I walk the Camino, right, in Spain, and in Spain, particularly if you come into Galicia, there is this cross where there are two beings on the cross. On one side, you have Jesus Christ. On the other side, you have a feminine statue. And you say that you go through the heart, through the male, right, through the masculine. But what you do is through that wormhole, you suddenly come back to Mother Nature or Mother Earth, right? And you suddenly live the vision, the feminine being the vision that there is. It's being the kingdom of heaven, right? That we are all invited. It all lives inside of us. But can we get through it?
Yeah.
Right? And if we get through it, suddenly on the other side of the cross, if we can get through that pain, through that suffering, carry our cross. So what I find is so destructive at the moment, we all use our trauma and we're trying to fight the trauma. In a way, we're trying to, okay, but the suffering, I think, is part of the humbling experience of getting through that. Is that what makes us human? And is knowing, like, let go.
Yeah.
But don't put it in the freezer. Don't put it in the cold, and learn how to get used to it and let the mind get over it. but allow yourself, and this is the beautiful on Christianity, of real Christianity, is like, we are asked to live it in every moment. Be real.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing real in being able to squash your emotion.
No. Yeah.
Just to earn some money, right? Just to do whatever you need to do. But be real and allow yourself the emotional state to be there, but detach from it so that the greater force can come through.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. You know, we're talking about connection here. We're talking about authenticity, where like I can be with you right here now, Kai, and I can, you know, I can feel your heart and you can feel my heart, and there's no I'm fully seen, you know, there's a willingness to be open and to be vulnerable and to feel what needs to be felt. And yeah, there's nothing to hide anymore, because there's no need to hide. You know, when you're in service to that life and to love, then it burns everything up. It's a purifying fire, and it sets everything free in that process. So yeah, it's about authentic connection, and what we are all starved of the most in the world is this authentic connection, to feeling love between each other, and not only each other, but with all of life, all of nature, this beautiful planet that we live on. So yeah, when we get in touch with that, we're not going to be destroying our planet anymore. We're not going to be warring and killing each other. We're going to be deeply rooted and feeling into that universal love that is here.
Iona Christ, or Kai Christ, and Jesus Christ. And I'm saying it exactly in that way because it's so shameful to say it, right? To put myself on that level, but also for me as a man to step into a man role, right? There's Jesus Christ, and yeah, he was the first and he was the master of them all. And I'm trying to become a Christ. But I am with all of my being. So, but I want to know from you as a woman, suddenly write the story new, that also the women have Christ energy. Because Eve didn't come from the rib of Adam, meaning she is less than him. He was there first, and it's just not true. But the main thing is coming out of the rib, meaning is being made of the same material, equal. We're all made in the equal picture of God. But isn't there, for me, there's so much shame of just mentioning, and on my Instagram account, I think I'm called Kai Christ, because for me, what is the future is that we all have one surname, and that's Christ. We're all children of God, right? As what? Yes, Jesus Christ was the first, and he took it all on, and he paved the way for us. But he said, I have done great things, but those who will come after me will do even greater things. So you and me. But what I want to hear from you is, how is it from you really also stepping up into the public eye and saying like, hold on, I'm Iona Christ. I'm that highest version as a woman in the world. I find that incredible powerful.
Thank you, Kai. Yeah, and I just want to say in this place, the distinction between I'm a man, I'm a woman disappears as well, because for me to be born into this place where I'm standing right now, I've had to go on that underworld journey last year, and I've had to find my masculine power and energy, because that is required to merge with and fuse with the love energy to birth things and bring things into 3D, you know, material reality, to bring them into matter. And so yes, as a woman, you know, it's opening to love hugely, expanding, but then having to go into the descent, having to find, you know, my sort of truth, of power, of like this is not to be fucked with. This is to own that power, and stand in it and for it. And to be able to do that, you need to be as wide in the love as you are vertically in your ability to bring things into being and to stand for them with all your power and all that you are. So it is the cross, and it is birthing through the center of the cross. That's the birthing canal, that the masculine energy comes through as an integrated whole, because you can't hold this energy without having an integration of these two energies, because that is what it is. It's a unified energy of the two.
But here I find the unified version of masculine energy brings us into a world into a moment where it puts the world upside down, because the masculinity we always synonymously see for doing. But suddenly in that moment, the center of the cross, there's stillness, there's pure presence. There is not doing anything. No. And in the old Vedic texts or in the old thing, pure masculinity was presence. There was no doing, right? In pure sexuality, from the point of when you get into the sacred union spot, into the center of the cross, where all parts are being brought together as one, you're in no motion. You're empty of all motion that is there, but you're in full presence of nothing but everything.
Yeah.
And that is pure resonance.
Yeah. And the way I've experienced it is a unifying of the energies of the elements. So your presence I've experienced as like masculine energy, that I identify it with the element air, the presence of mind and consciousness. But there's also masculine fire energy, which is that energy you felt coming through me, to stand, to bring things into being. And it's that penetrating force that will take the dreaming of love and bring it into matter, bring it into being. That's pure fire, and it's masculine energy. And it doesn't come from doing. It comes from being so connected into service to the feminine, into the service to the feminine that's connected into source energy and into what needs to be birthed, and the visions and that love energy. And it's, as I say, it's a unified energy, so it's in service to the feminine, and it's like at her vagina, receiving the child into the world, into 3D. So there's different aspects of the masculine, but this is the healthy form. It's not the small mind that's trying to create and trying to do. It's in service to the feminine. The feminine guides, it connects into the wisdom, and it guides, and the masculine leads it into being, into the world.
But what is really important, and for those who listen, who so far have listened and are still in that, because this is really deep, and I don't think that many will scratch and it's like, yeah, it was there, but can I dare it? Can I say? You said that you stand for masculine energy, right? And alone this, I want for those who listen to really understand what you said. Like standing. That's it.
We can't do it without this masculine energy. And we can't be afraid of it, because we need it. And yes, it has dominated, and it has, fucked everything over for however many thousands of years. But that is the fear-based aspect of the masculine, the distorted masculine that's coming out of fear and the need to control. This is pure fire energy that will stand for love and do what it needs to do in service to life and in service to that source energy. And it can, it's like Kali energy. It will cut off your head if it needs to cut off your head. you know, it will do what it needs to do in service to life. It is ruthlessly in service to love. And we need to and I need to say this, is that Christianity has sanitized that energy because it's uncomfortable with it. You know, in the same way that it sanitized the feminine sexuality with the feminine, the power of the feminine that is rooted in the body and sexuality. You know, it sanitized that. I call it the earth element of the feminine. In the same way, it sanitized the fire element of the masculine. And we need both of those, because that is where the power is held that unifies with the love to come into the sacred union and to bring this energy through, because it requires the power and the love. It requires the merging of the two to be strong enough to hold this force that's wanting to give birth through us right now.
What I wanted to come back to is to make people understand that the masculine is not a doing as you've been fought for taking a stance, right? You will be fought. You will be crucified for that. And it doesn't mean to hit back, but just to keep standing. And this is also what it was been told, is like, you'll be tested and you'll be trialed about it. And part of it is to carry your cross. And it also means that when you're being hit on the right, turn your left cheek, but keep standing. Keep standing in that faith and that commitment, so that the vision can come down. It is, masculine presence is nothing else than the anchor where the feminine experience can come down onto earth. And this is all what it is. So there is no let go of that you would have to do it, that you're part of that, you doing, but you've been done too. And that humbleness to know is like, hold on, what do I know? It just all happens through this great source that is there, that we're all connected into. If I let go, letting go being the feminine first, the surrendered state, the receiving state. If I can't receive, if I haven't got my femininity open, my weakness, my vulnerability, you can't step into that.
No. And I mean, when we really let this energy through, you know, it is power and it is love, and it moves through us, and we are vessels for it. Ultimately, you know, that's the bottom line. But it's hugely powerful, and it's you know, that it stands for love. It's yeah, and that's why I connected to Christ energy, because, you know, that's what Christ stood for. He said, forget everything and you know, and accept love. You know, just remember that, you know, love your neighbor as yourself. So like, stand for love, you know. And
here's a great thing, because this is the way how the Bible speaks to me. You say something and it just makes poof, it comes through me. And as you said, love thy neighbor as thyself, is we all want love, but the much we want to be connected, our greatest connection, our greatest longing is to be connected to the greater part of it, to be connected to the great conscious, the great mystery, to God, right? Mm-hmm. So to say I want the love, but it says love thy neighbor as thyself. So the love that you want, can you also let it come through you to your neighbor? And this is what it's all about, right? Yes. We all crave this feeling, I'm worthy, can I be, please? But all that it is, yes, you are, but please let it go, because it will go. You will experience it on your neighbor, on your lover, on your partner, on your business colleague, or whoever it is.
Yes.
In particular on your enemy. That's because your enemy, or the one who hates you, or the one who is weak or whatever, who doesn't trust you, he needs the love the most. So absolutely. Can you allow the love that is for you to flow through you, to pour out into the world? Yeah,
so that's it, Kai. I mean, this love, you know, as wide, this is the feminine love. It's as wide, and these arms wrap around the entire, you know, earth, because it's horizontal. It's like is nothing that isn't included in this love. Nothing. Everything is included in this love. Absolutely everything. There's nothing that anybody can do that makes them not worthy of this love. Everything is included. But that doesn't mean that there are boundaries, that doesn't mean that there isn't this power that that will move through when it needs to move through, and to hold alignment to love. So this isn't becoming a doormat. This isn't a soft, this is a love that's completely merged with that masculine vertical power, and yes, it is.
I would like to throw something in there, because I know how quickly people trigger around the cross, right? And the cross is always the vertical and the horizontal. I invite you to look back at the most ancient way of the cross, and that's a diagonal angle. So in that diagonal angle, let's get rid of that, what triggers us, what puts us out of, like, no way, the Roman Catholic Church and whatever. But see it as one and the other. See it not as the one or like, but as well as. You can only create a cross by those two diagonals, right? And the one is one diagonal, the other is the other diagonal, without comparing them, or without the one is touching the earth or whatever. It's just, that's it. And you need both of them. And if you have both integrated in yourself, magic can happen.
And what I really love is my name is Iona, from the Scottish island of Iona, which is, a sacred isle. And it has a big, beautiful cross, with the Ionian cross with a circle, so the Celtic crosses had a circle around where the crosses met. So for me, that's the birthing canal, that's the union, that's where this energy comes through. And it's about that center, that circle, and becoming that. So yeah, that's definitely my cross.
Is it the diagonal cross?
It's vertical, but it's got a circle around the middle, the center of the cross has a circle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so we're living it, Kai, and I just want to honor you, for all you walking, and like literally each step, as the Christ, you have been walking, and I really honor you and see you in that. And thank you for showing us the courage, the courage of what it is to trust that fully.
About the Camino and about letting go of all of it, and goosebumps now everywhere. So thank you for saying that and for honoring and appreciating it. But I have always refused to wear the shell. The Camino is about the shell. And I love the shell. But what I found out and what has been told me is, like, it's not about the shell. The shell is the protection. The path to walk the Camino is a protected path, and you will experience that. Goosebumps now everywhere again, right? Because when you walk this path, it's like millions have tread this path, and it is the path of St. James, apostle of Christ. And I knew that, because my calling was always so strong. I know I don't walk this path and I start all the way in the beginning with the shell. No, I walk this path now, not to seek, but knowing to find. And I walk this path already as the pearl. I know that I am it. I know that I'm the one I'm looking for, that I am the Christ that is walking here. Yes, in tiny baby shoes, right? Not even mentioning of it, but I walk it in a humbly way, and I know this protected path is there. But what it's all about, that we being able to pull out the pearl, that Christ energy is out there into the world and live it. That means we have to open up the shell, the protection that is there, and knowing, face the world, carry your cross, accept the pain, accept that pain that comes from letting go, not knowing if tomorrow you will have enough money, and you will be showered by incredible riches of experiences of the feminine.
Thank you, Kai. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and your experience.
Thank you for making it so easy to project it out there onto you. Like, I need to speak to you because my projection onto you works brilliant.
Reflector.
Yeah, I invite you that we do this again, because I think we just kickstarted something. And I think we couldn't, or I personally feel I couldn't be spending my time wiser than speaking about this, to invite all the people that they're already feeling it under their skin. They're already feeling and wanting to connect to them, just to step one step aside and allow it to come through.
Yeah, and I just want to add as well that it is already happening, and a number of times I've seen, for me, that, as you say, you're in baby shoes. For me, I've experienced it of being like a little bird in the sky, but learning to fly, or a little calf that's just been born and learning to walk. So I'm getting these images, but the beauty is, I've been born. I'm little still, and I'm learning about this. I'm learning to use this energy and to live in it more. But it's not like it's here, and we are it, and we are living it. So we can give thanks and continue to learn together, and know that we're not alone. And it's beautiful to meet you on the other side of the heart, Kai, and to meet you, brother. And thank you for being here with me. And I'm just loving you for that, and celebrating that we are here. And that's beautiful. We in the Garden of Eden, with in paradise, with love and in love, and learning how to bring more of that through us. And it's really beautiful.
Welcome to the edges of the Aquarian age, the Aquarian being our soul family, right? And that so many of these people that have incarnated to this moment of time, like 8 billion people now, right? They all want to experience that moment where we can become the Christ. We all become the savior of our worlds, because the way is that if I change myself, I change the world. Yes. So if you become the savior, if you become the Christ, you become the savior, and the savior also will save the world. So this is why so many people are here. But can we just invite them and say, hey, brother, hey, sister, no matter where you're from, we all are. There is one God, and it's like it all fits somehow together.
It does. Right? It does.
Come be welcome. Be whoever you want.
We really cannot. We're really wasting our time trying to figure out our problems from the same mind that created them. It's that beautiful quote: "You can't, create a new system from the one that created it." So we're wasting our time doing that, and until we actually let this source energy through us, which is going to do through us, is in these ways that we can't even conceive of yet. Because honestly, when I've experienced this energy through me, I'm like, is that me? It's like another version of me with this huge power and love, and it takes my breath away, afterwards, to have or to even witness myself bringing that energy through, or allowing it through. And it's beyond what we can conceive of, and everything we're looking for is in that stream. It's there, all the answers, all the gifts, and we just have to open to it, let it move through us, and all the answers and solutions to healing our world, to connecting and bringing back love and connection. It's all in that flow, and we don't have to figure it out. We literally have to open to it and let it do its thing through us. Isn't that the good news?
It surely is. And for me, it is so incredible that it has come down to the point to understand this kind of peace be with you, and now rise and shine. If you know that the pain and the suffering is the point of acceptance where you can be peaceful enough to rise beyond what we know is our limitation, actually.
Yeah.
Right? And that real sayings like, God bless you, peace be with you, rise and shine. Know that it's all part of the journey. Surrender and let go and feel those fears and pains. And through that, you'll shine for the whole world to see.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I welcome you. And I thank you for the time that you have said yes to that. And I invite you also, when there are two in my name or more, pick someone that you really resonate with and connect a story that we do it the same way now. And let us become the fisherman. But fisherman that I have learned on the Camino is not about fishing men, but it's those who go out onto the sea. It's those who leave the land and they go back into their origin, into the vastness of the femininity, of the experience of the mother herself. That is what fishermen are. It's those who go back out onto the sea and risk their life and lose their life in the great ocean. And that's what I have always misunderstood. Fishermen were, for me, the people who fish people into Christianity. There is no fishing into Christianity. There's just, can you go out into the uncertainty? Can you go, as you so beautifully said, go through your heart, into the back and through of your heart, into that, what did you say, that black hole, that wormhole, and come back out in the divine feminine that is all there is.
Yeah. And I'm really appreciating the sun shining right, making a beautiful
exactly. That will be some sniper somewhere. It's like, if he keep talking like that, I'll shoot him.
Okay, Kai. So much love.
So much love. Till another time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.